Hello guys, Bobby Drives here. So today I've got a brand new 2020 Audi Q8 S-Line Quattro. And from outset, what a good looking car. Now I've only seen a few of these on the road. They are relatively new cars, so I'm really happy to actually have this on my channel. This being the Q8, it is the first of Audi doing an SUV coupe sort of style design car. BMW took the leap in the early 2000s. They did an X6, which was based on an X5 4x4, making it a little bit more coupe style. Then Mercedes joined on doing a GLE coupe, and now finally Audi have decided to give it a go. And I think it's a really good looking car. And the best thing about it, because the roofline is not swooping so much, in the back you can fit 3 people. It's actually usable space. So so far, great start. We're going to go around, get to know the car from the inside and outside, check out all its features, yeah, and see what it's all about. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Do hit the bell notification button for new videos, and don't forget to follow me at Bobby Drives. Now I'm actually going to start my review at the rear of this car. So, this is the rear. The first thing I want to get on top of is this 50. Now, I've recently seen Audis which have a number 30 or 40 or 50, 55, 60 and so on. And I just thought I'd clarify it now what that means. So, starting with, this is still an Audi Q8. What this replaces is the typical 2 litre, 3 litre, 4 litre. And the reason why Audi are now starting to do this because there's a lot of electrical cars coming to play, so to tell what sort of power that they're giving out, it's a bit difficult to just say by what litre it is. So instead, Audi are now going to start from 25 and they're going to go all the way up to 70. 25 will basically be like an Audi A1, 25 means it's got like 100 brake horsepower. If you go for a 30, it's got 109 brake horsepower to 129, 40's got like 170 to 200 and so forth. This being a 50, it's a big number, so it's got more capacity. This is a 3 litre 6-cylinder turbo diesel engine, and this produces 286 brake horsepower with 443 pounds of torque, meaning this big 2.3 tonne car will still get you 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds and a top speed of 152 miles per hour. Best thing about it, with miles per gallon combined, it's still 33, so it's relatively quite a good economical car. But just thought I will confirm what these numbers are. So in short, the higher the number, the more powerful the car is. Audi are quite famous for doing these light bars, and it's a new fashion thing. A lot of cars are starting to do it. But this car has one thing better. When you unlock the car or you lock it, the lights do some sort of dance to welcome you. So look, if I lock it, now I'm going to unlock it, watch the lights. And I'll lock it again. Look at that, I don't know if you saw the sequence of the lights going up and then across the bar. That's a really cool feature. I mean, I just have enough fun just playing around with this. Another thing is, you do have the tailgate kick boot, so I can just kick my leg. I actually kick the exhaust there, but boot opens up. So guys, let's have a look at the boot. So as it stands, with the seats up, you've got 605 litres. If you push the seats down, that goes up to 1755 litres, which is really big. Unfortunately, you can't release the seats from here. I will have to run around the back, and I'll show you. Run around this side. And that's with the seats down. That's quite a large space. This does come down, so which is really good. Oh, another thing I noticed, when I was unlocking the car, this retracts itself, so this is somewhat automatic. And another cool thing is, in the rear I've got 2 buttons, and that's for to actually lower the car or make it higher electronically. So it's really good if I'm basically loading heavy stuff into the car. I can press this button and it will just lower it, so it makes it a little bit easier. When you finish, you can just raise it back up again, and yeah, it makes things a little bit easier. It's a bit annoying, you do have about almost a 2-inch lip here, so if you're sliding things out, they are going to catch, so it won't be the easiest. Underneath here, you do have just everything for your spare, not your spare tyre, but if you have a puncture, you've got a repair kit. So remember guys, you don't have a spare tyre in this car. And whilst we are here, we might check out the exhaust if they are real. and they're definitely not real. The front lights have their own unique design as well, so let me show you that. I just love the sequence, the way it goes up. It's just really nice little cool feature. So guys, this is the front of the car, and one thing I'd say, Audi has gone over the top with this massive grille. I mean, it's just big, it's really big. But other than that, I still think it's quite impressive. I really do like it. You do have a little camera here, so when you're driving, you can see what's going on. I will also mention that these lights do come with the LED matrix technology, which I've mentioned in some of my other videos. And it basically protects other oncoming cars from being blinded by these lights. And what these LED lights will do, there's probably got about 12 to 15 or 16 bulbs in each headlight, and they'll turn off each individual light, which is blinding oncoming cars. So it kind of makes like a passageway of lights. The wheels are absolutely massive. They are 22-inch wheels. As standard, this car does come with 21-inch wheels, which is brilliant. But these are the 22s, they are optional extra. They are the 5 multi-spoke. You've got the silver finish on the front, and inside it's like a darker grey finish. But yes, it gives a big stance to this car. So I was on Audi's website last night playing with the configurator just to see what these cost brand new. So starting with this one, which is the 50, which is a 3-litre turbocharged, producing 282 brake horsepower. They start from £66,000, and it can go up to £82,000 if you decide to get a raw sprung, which is formerly like the black edition, where you've got no chrome, the wing mirrors are black, and it's just a bit more of a stealthier, badass look. But then you can go for the 55, and they will start from about £76,000. Then you can go to the S Q8 and the RS Q8, and they are anywhere between say 95 up to about 120k. So the range on this, cheapest is from about 66,000 up to about 120k. Now I actually looked on another website, which we all probably use in the UK, it's Auto something, and I found a brand new one, which is located about 30 miles from London. And it's an S-Line, it's a Quattro, it's a 50, beautiful spec at £55,000. So there are some bargains to be found with this car. Another cool feature this car has, it does have keyless entry. So as long as I've got the key in my pocket, I can just go up to the car, grab the handle, and the car unlocks. Now, there's a reason why I actually want to show you this. So this being a coupe SUV, it's quite surprising that it has pillarless windows. But again, they're trying to emphasize that this is a coupe, and I think that's a really cool feature to have. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the soft closing doors, but another feature, when I want to lock the car, I just press this little fob here, and it locks the car for me. Another thing I'd like to point out is the colour of this car. So, excuse me for this, I don't actually know what this colour's called, but it's like a bluey green. When the sun hits it, it's a bit of a dull day at the moment. It does really pop, and it goes between like I said, like a bluey green colour, which is really, really nice. But here's a fun fact. If you're looking to buy this car, you can only buy it in black as standard. Any other colour, whether it's blue, green, orange, white or whatever, it's a £750 extra. So it's a bit of a shame that you can't get these in different colours, but at the same time, having this whole car sprayed for £750 in the 12 or 14 choices that they have, it's actually not that bad. So guys, let's have a look from the inside. First of all, what an amazing cockpit. This is totally brand new. This has been picked out of the A8 and the Q7. And if you just look at the dashboard, it's just like one straight line, and it's a shiny black, and then you've got the screen in the middle. Now if I turn the screen off, you won't actually even realise that there's a screen there. And then I love that you've got another screen underneath, but absolutely a beautiful cockpit to be in. Let's start with the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is the S-Line. You've got the flat profile at the bottom, you've got the paddle shifts for up and down, and all your buttons to control the infotainment system. The seats themselves are half leather, half Alcantara. They are embossed with their S-Line logo, which is quite a nice feature to have. They are also electrically operated by the side of your seat, so it makes life a little bit easier, and it does have quite good lumbar support too. So in the center console, you've got 2 cup holders. Then you're moving on to the 2 screens I have. So the first screen, which is slightly closer to the gearbox, that's to control all of my heating functions, all of my heated seats, and anything to do with climate control really. The top screen is to control all of my sat nav, my radio, my Bluetooth, my music, and it's just quite nice that you've got 2 separate screens. Now, unfortunately, because it's a shiny material, yes, it does leave loads of fingerprints behind. So when you turn the screen off, you can see the fingerprints everywhere, so it's not a nice sight. There's an option here where it's called screen cleaning mode. I can press that and I can get something, I can clean it all off, so it looks all new again. Going back to the climate control, now it's really easy to use. It can be a little bit distracting whilst you're driving, but let's say you wanted to bring your temperature down, you just hit the minus or the plus, and it gives this like vibration back. So the screen actually vibrates, so you know that you're actually doing something, and it also makes a click sound, which is really useful. But this could take forever trying to adjust my heating, so I can pull this bar to the left and I can go up to control it, or down, which makes it a lot easier. This is control the fan speeds, all of my other climate control functions. Now if I click on the seat, what it does do, it brings up a display of my seat on the top screen, and now I can use the top screen to adjust what I want to do on my seat. And I think that's just really cool to have. I can also adjust different parts of the seat to be hotter. So if I want the backrest to be hotter than, say, where I'm sitting, I can adjust that all here. Also on the climate control screen, you've got the options to turn the automatic start-stop off on this car. And the good thing about this car, it will actually turn the engine off as you're approaching traffic lights. So it turns it off before you've even stopped. You've got all your other buttons here for lane departure. I've also got another button here for my remote control, which is for my garage. So I can connect it to this car, so when I'm coming to my garage, I don't have to grab the remote. I will just press the button here, or the car will detect it and it'll open up itself. Just under the climate control, I've got my drive select, so to choose different driving settings on this car. So I can actually go from all road to efficiency to comfort, auto, or dynamic. Now, I'm a bit surprised I don't have this option on my steering wheel. I have to always go here to the climate control to change my driving preference. I also have another option on the drive select modes where I can raise the suspension or I can lower it, meaning it makes it a little bit easier for passengers to get in and out of the car. As part of the keyless entry system, the keys in my pocket, I've got a start button there, I can press down, the car will just start by itself. Now I really like the way this armrest has been designed. I can lift it, take it forward, I can make it a little bit higher, I can also then take it back. It's just the way it feels. It feels like it's been designed really well. Underneath it, I do have my wireless charging area where I can put my phone. I've got an SD slot here, a SIM slot for my phone, and 2 USB charging ports. Also near the climate control, there's a button here to activate the cameras. So if I press that, it gives me a whole list of different ways I can view my car. So I can see the alloy wheels on the side, I can see the front alloy wheels, the rear, the front, both left and right, like a fish angle. I've got a bird's eye view where I can see the car from the top, but the best one, I've got a button here which says 3D. Now when I press that, it actually takes a picture of my car and the surroundings. So there's a black Mercedes next to me right now. If I go like this, there's a black Mercedes. It is just brilliant. It's a picture of the Q8 and it just shows me everything around me. So when I'm parking in a really tight space, this is absolutely brilliant. And again, the usability of it, look, I can actually see this guy getting into his car. But what a brilliant feature for when you're parking, or even just to play around with, in fact. Moving up to the big screen, I have got my sat nav here, so I press that and it goes straight to my satellite navigation settings. What's really cool, now I'm going to enter an address, so if I type in intelligent search, the bottom screen then becomes a writing pad. And the best thing is I don't have to write like H-I-N-D. I don't have to make them separate. I can just write the words out. So let's say I'm going to go to Park Lane example. I don't have to do P, then A, then R, then K. Just type in park. This is such a great feature. Sorry about my writing, but let's see if Park Lane.
P-A-R-K-L-A-N-E.
That is so quick and so responsive. It's quicker than me actually using it on my phone. So for satellite navigation, that is one of my favorite features in this car. But also going back to the sat nav itself, it's a display that it shows. If I zoom in, it shows exactly what's around me. It's like having well, this is controlled by Google Maps, but it's like having street view at home, and I can just zoom in and see what's exactly around me. It's a really good system. I can move on to my telephone calls, I can connect via Bluetooth. Same with my music, I can connect via Bluetooth, I can listen to Spotify or Apple Music, which is really cool. You've got loads of storage in this car, so the door bins can fit up to about 1.5 litres of water. You've got your glove box down here, which is actually quite large. Yeah, it's a big storage. Cup holders, as I mentioned already. You've got another secret compartment here, which is lined with like Velcro, so things that you don't want to slip, you can put them in there. I also like this gear lever. It's like the width of my hand. I've got the park button here, I've got the disengage on the side. I actually feel like I'm almost like driving a jet. With the virtual cockpit, it's probably one of the best. I love how it's so bright and so clearly displaying your sat nav. I can see everything right here. I've got my smaller dial to my left for my revs and my miles per hour on my right. But let's say I didn't like that view, I can press the view button on the steering wheel, and now my speedometer, my rev counter become enlarged, but the sat nav is still in the middle. Altogether, if I don't like that view, I can use these left and right arrows. I can go through my music, my sat nav, or information about the car. So yeah, really great virtual cockpit. So guys, in the rear of the car, loads and loads of space, more than the X6, more than the GLE Mercedes. Like, I position the seat for me like I'm 5'10", but look how much space I have, loads. And even roof height, loads of space. I'm not gonna be knocking my head around anywhere. I can honestly say 3 people can sit in this car very easily, very comfortably. And the nice thing is, because the roof line is higher, I'm not getting squashed from the top, but neither the side. A lot of these coupe SUVs end up shrinking the size on the sides, whereas I don't have that here. You do have an armrest in the middle. Oh, it's quite nice. You've got cup holders in the middle. This doesn't have 4-zone climate control, so you've only got the heating at the front. If you did go for the 4-zone, then you normally would have another display here where the left and right passenger can control their own heating. But yeah guys, first impressions is this car's super quiet. I can't hear anything from outside. The car does really absorb the sound, which is brilliant. But yeah, love the height of it. I do feel like I'm the king of the road. It's quite tall. Steering wheel is super light. I suppose if I put that into a sportier setting, it will probably get a little bit more tighter with the suspension. But yeah, it's a really smooth car. Like I said, it does get you 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, which, let's face it, it's a respectable number. All of the Mercedes and the BMW X6 and the GLE are roughly around the same 0 to 60, roughly the same price for these cars. So if you are looking to buy one, you've got a tough choice. You've got to choose between the 3. Also, I love this camera. It just makes life so easy when I'm parking, especially when I hit the 3D button. I can see my car fully. I don't even have to look back. It's just telling me, look, I've got this big metal bin next to me. That is just brilliant. Honestly, I can see the whole car around, and it just makes things really easy. Now, a lot of people have mentioned about the glare that you get on these 2 screens from all the fingerprints. But as I'm driving, even when I've got sun coming on it, I actually can't see it. Yes, if I did turn the top screen and the bottom screen off, where it's just black, then possibly, yes, people will see it. But as the screens are on right now, I cannot see any fingerprints. So I'm actually not too bothered about that, and that's actually quite a good thing. However, I do find I'm getting really distracted trying to adjust my heating. So you don't have any knobs like you would have for the volume example. Here, I am having to use a whole touch screen. So when I'm driving, I haven't got that feel. So yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. One thing I do like, which I mentioned, is that initial response. So whenever I click on something, it clicks. It makes like this like touch, so you know it's doing something. But I would say the screen for all of the heating controls, it is quite distracting, and I wish they had some knobs which made it a little bit easier. It looks great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes the practicality of it may not be the best. And as I'm driving, I really do appreciate having my sat nav in my my digital display right ahead of me. It just makes things so much easier. I don't have to keep looking to my left. I can just look right ahead of me and I can see exactly where I'm going. Meaning I can leave my middle screen for my passengers to play with, and I've just got my sat nav right in front of me. Another thing to mention as well, what I really like is that being the SUV coupe, I actually feel it. I actually feel like I'm sitting in a Audi S5, you could say, but just higher. I don't feel like I'm on top of the car. I feel like I'm actually in the seat. So yeah, really nice driving position. So guys, that brings us to the end of my review. I hope you really liked it. I've really enjoyed having this car on my channel. Like I said, I've only spotted a few on the road, so they are still quite rare. But as I mentioned, as price, they do start at £66,000. I did my own little research last night and I found them as cheap as £55,000. Same spec as this, bar being 21-inch alloy wheels. So I think it's priced relatively well. BMW is around the same price, Mercedes a little bit more, so Audi have sandwiched themselves in the right place. And if you are looking for a coupe SUV, this is probably one of the cars that I would go for. Having the four-wheel drive system, the engine's pokey enough, and it's got loads of space inside. One benefit you've got to remember, this not having such a swooping roofline means that you can get 3 people in the back quite comfortably, and it doesn't compromise the rear boot either. So thumbs up for me. But other than that guys, it is the end of the review. Please do subscribe to my channel if you are new. Do hit the bell notification button for any new videos. Smash the likes button if you did like it. And don't forget to follow me at Bobby Drives. See you later.